Very nice of you to join us. Hey everyone, my name is Julie and I am a dog mom to these two puppies. They are both about 8 months old, and I thought I would share all of the things I have learned since becoming a dog mom. So whether you are already a dog parent or are gonna become one, definitely watch this video all the way through. I thought I was prepared before owning dogs, but let me tell you, the amount of stuff I've learned even just recently is crazy. So I put a big list together of everything that I've learned and I'm gonna share with you guys today. And I do have all my dog favorites linked down below on my Amazon, all my favorite dog toys, treats, everything in one spot for you guys if you want to check that out. I do just want to start off by saying that if you're watching this and you're a dog parent, you're doing a great job, and even if you can't afford the best toys and all the treats, like, your dog literally still loves you so much and you're doing great. Okay, to start off, this one's like kind of obvious, I feel like, if you already are a dog owner, but if you get them, especially when they're a puppy, they are gonna require a lot more energy, patience, money than you think. Like, you might think you're prepared, but you're not. Like, we got them when they were like 8 weeks old, and the amount of times we were woken up in the night, we didn't get to sleep in. I haven't gotten to sleep in since having them. Like, they wake up crack of dawn. Lots of patience and training them. Like, they don't understand, they're trying their best. You just have to remember that, but like, you need to have patience and a lot of it. And dogs have a lot of energy. We're lucky enough that we got 2 of them that they can like play together, and we don't always have to like be playing with them, but they are a little crazy sometimes. There are a lot of foods dogs can't have. Some of them are pretty obvious, like chocolate, candy, gum, but some other ones I didn't even realize until we had dogs. Grapes, raisins, mushrooms, there's a ton, so definitely like do your research because I can't list them all off. But every time we're gonna feed them something new, like, I always Google it and do my research just to be safe. Going along with that, dogs can have peanut butter. They love peanut butter, but a lot of peanut butters have xylitol in it, and xylitol is toxic to dogs. So be sure to check the ingredients. Additionally, there are a lot of plants and flowers that are toxic to dogs. So if you're gonna have vases of flowers on the counter, either do your research and make sure they're good for the dogs, or make sure that the dogs cannot reach them so they aren't eating them up. I recommend being prepared for scary situations. You might think, oh, it's not gonna happen to my dog. It might. We never thought our dog would get a hold of a whole brownie. He did get a brownie. My husband left it on his desk. I let the dogs into the office, not knowing that there was a brownie on the desk. Like, he had closed the door, but I let the dogs in, not knowing, and Thunder got most of a brownie. So we did our research, and there are chocolates that are actually more toxic to dogs than others, and thankfully the chocolate that was in the brownies was the least toxic, so we weren't as worried. But we gave him hydrogen peroxide, so we throw it up just like the smallest amount. We put it in some food, I think, because he wouldn't just eat it on its own. But so yeah, he threw it up. It was really scary and sad. Like, I was sobbing and I was like, how could we let this happen? So just know that everyone makes mistakes and stuff may happen. Don't think you're like a bad dog parent. Like, it happens. Just be prepared. I would definitely recommend watching videos on how to give a dog CPR or how to take care of a choking dog, because I know it's like really scary and sad, but you really do want to be prepared just in case. Kind of going back to making sure that your dog doesn't eat toxic stuff. Dogs cannot have gum or cigarette butts, obviously, and a lot of people throw their cigarette butts or spit out their gum on sidewalks. The amount of times I've been on a walk and my dogs have like sniffed it and tried to pick it up is crazy. So definitely be aware of that, and like make sure you pull your dog away, and if you can, like, throw the cigarette butt or gum away, because obviously there's other dogs out there and you want them to all be safe. Or if you're one of those people who are spitting out your gum on the ground or throwing your cigarette butts onto the ground, maybe you don't understand that like it's toxic to dogs, so try not to do that. A lot of dogs do not hydrate enough on their own. Like, they do not go drink enough water from their water bowl on their own. So I recommend adding water to your dog's food dish, whether you let the water soak into the food or just kind of like pour it in and give it to them right away. Whichever it is, like, that is an amazing way and easy way to keep them hydrated. Along with that, we also like to add some yogurt to their food, just a little on top, which makes it better for them and also helps with hydration. Studies show that the more types of food your dog has, the longer they will live. Like, their longevity increases. Obviously, this is what studies show. I obviously am not sure, but do your research on all of this, obviously, because this is stuff I've learned and done research on, but do your own research for everything. But anyway, yeah, the studies show that if you're giving your dogs like fruits, vegetables, different types of stuff, whatever, it increases their lifespan. So we like to add fruits and stuff to our dog's food. They love blueberries, oranges, um, all the good stuff. I recently started giving them carrots. They questioned the carrots at first, but now they're eating them. I heard this one recently, and I really feel like no one really knows about this, but a lot of people play chasing like their dog as a game. Like they will chase their dog will chase them back. Like it's all fun and games, right? But I heard it's not a great idea to do that because imagine you're outside, your dog gets off the leash, they start running. You run after them. Now the dog thinks you're playing chase, whatever, and now they run even further and faster. So, obviously every dog's different and maybe your dog wouldn't do that, but just be safe, maybe try not to play that as a game. When your dog gets to go on walks, it's probably their favorite part of the day and they honestly probably look forward to it. So even if you're like tired or lazy, whatever it is, like I know there's days I'm just like not in the mood to go outside, especially if like the weather is like super hot, super cold, but like your dog is looking forward to that. Like they want to go on a walk, they want to sniff all those smells. So try to take your dog for a walk every day. I know it can be hard, but just remember like that's literally their favorite thing in the whole world. And walks are great, but dogs love to be off leash, and I heard it's very good for them to have that time off leash. So if you're able to take them to a dog park, or if you have a fenced in area, you can let them run. Like the amount of energy they get off too, like it's amazing. When we take them to the dog park, the next like 2 days, they are beat and they sleep so much. So benefits for both of you. If your dog struggles with pulling on a leash, there are lots of ways to train your dog. Obviously there's shot collars and like prawn collars, and I heard about one recently that like kind of goes over their mouth. And honestly, some of those do work, but I also just did research on it, and a lot of those can hurt the dog emotionally and physically. Like they can be traumatized from it. So I have done research, and the best option to prevent your dog from pulling on walks when they're on the leash is the harness with the front attachment. So like the harness, it has like a little clip in the front that you hook the leash on, and then if the dog tries to pull, like it pulls them, like it spins them around, so it's supposed to stop them, which I use for our dogs, and they're kind of strong, so it doesn't work as well as I think other things would, but just knowing like it's the best option for them and it's still helping a little bit. If you are able to and can afford cleaning products that don't have all the harsh chemicals in it, I definitely recommend doing that. I do have a couple in that link down below, but same with laundry detergent, like non-toxic laundry detergent to wash their blankets and bedding and dog toys in. Just like the little things that might make them live so much longer. And going along with that, if you have dog blankets, dog toys, or whatever that maybe the dog had an accident on or whatever, just smells really bad and will not, like the scent will not come out when you wash it, mix some vinegar in with your detergent when you wash it, and then it'll literally get the stench out. Like it works every time for me. I know a lot of dog parents, whenever their dog has an accident, pure whatever on the floor, they put like their dog's face into it, like making them smell it and like tell them no and like yell at them. But studies have shown recently that like that's not effective, at least not anymore. And honestly, it just makes your dog more anxious, causes more accidents, and whatever. So if you do that, maybe do your research and see if that's actually how you want to respond to those accidents. Okay, this one I feel like I knew but didn't really know. So dogs' visions is limited to like grays, yellows, blues. Like they do not see color like us. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I'll try to insert a video or a picture if I can, like of how they see. So when you're picking out dog toys, like blues and purples, like I feel like those are like the most vibrant for them. So if you want them to be excited and stuff, maybe try to stick to like purple and blue toys and dog bedding and whatever. And there's like apps and stuff, or like filters where you can like see how dogs see and like scan the toy section and see which one's the most vibrant if you really want to do that. Obviously this isn't like super important, but like it's just like the little things, and I know some people care about that or whatever. One way to really keep your dogs busy is to take a towel or a blanket, put some treats in it, wrap it up and like tie it in a knot, and then give it to your dog. They spend like the longest time trying to get it apart. We have had towels and blankets destroyed though, so make sure it's like stuff you don't care if like gets ruined, but like it keeps them busy for so long. It's like I'm so glad I figured that out. Dogs really should be secured when you're driving. I know a lot of people just like let them be in the passenger seat, whatever, but if you do get in an accident, like that's scary. And there are dog seatbelts out there, which honestly we haven't tried yet, which I'm really curious about. If any of you have tried dog seatbelts, like let me know how it's going or whatever. But just try to keep your dog secured in the car if you can. When you're taking your dog for walks and it's a hot summer day, try to feel the pavement with your hand before letting your dog walk on it. Just because if it's like hot to you, it's gonna be hot to them. And like you really don't wanna hurt them and make them uncomfortable. So a little tip there for you. If you're working on training your dog, obviously train with treats, like that works very well, but also train without treats. Like you don't want your dog to start thinking like, oh, there's no treat inside, I don't smell a treat, like I'm not gonna listen to you. So train with treats and without treats. Spin. High five. Sit. Close enough, right? High five. High five. Sit. Shake. Spin. Lay down. I know some people let their dogs sleep on the furniture, couches, beds, whatever. Honestly, I feel like that's a total personal preference. We obviously let our dogs on the couch and they are allowed to sleep in our bed with us. But once you start doing that, I feel like you can't train them not to. So definitely decide before you get the dog, like, are they allowed on furniture or not? Because I feel like once you make that decision, like, I don't think you can really change. Like, I don't think there's any way that we would be able to train them to stay off it now. Not that we really care. Try to always follow through with commands. If your dog thinks they can get away with it one time, like, it's bad. Honestly, we made that mistake. Thunder, one time we told him to go into his kennel. He didn't go, he laid down like he was being kind of naughty, and we told him like go in the kennel, and he like laid down right there. He looked so sad and sweet. We're like, whatever, it's fine. And from that point on, he's getting better about it now. Like we like force it really hard right now, like since then. But like for a while after that, like he would just lay down and not go in the kennel because he thought he could get away with it again. So try to always, whatever you're trying to teach them, whatever, any command you're giving them, like follow through. I don't do this personally, but I've heard other dog owners say that like having a bell or a button by like the front door where you let them outside is like a great way to like teach them like, hey, ring that bell or whatever when you want to go outside. So every time you take them out, ring the bell like kind of for them, and then they'll get in the habit like, oh, ringing the bell means go outside. So we didn't implement that, but I think that's a really good idea. Dogs should be bathed every 1 to 3 months. If you do it too much, their skin will get really dry, they'll be uncomfortable, but obviously if you go too long, they are gonna stink and they'll be gross and could cause health issues. So bathe your dog every 1 to 3 months. If you're wondering how often to let your dog outside, puppies need to go out a lot. Like I feel like we had to let our dogs out every hour when we first got them. Now they can go around 4 or 5 hours without going outside, and I think adult dogs can go up to 8 hours. Like you really shouldn't wait that long if you can. Like I think adult dogs is like 4 to 8 hours depending on the dog or the size, how much they've been drinking, whatever. So 4 to 8 hours for adult dogs. Puppies, as much as every hour. Making sure a dog has good hygiene is so important. Clipping their nails, brushing their teeth, brushing their fur, bathing them, cleaning their ears, all of it. Obviously your vet can do a lot of that, but if you can train your dog early on, like this is what I'm doing, like we're gonna brush your teeth this often, we're gonna clip your nails, like get them used to it. Like our dogs are actually really good. We're really lucky that we started doing that right away. But yeah, studies have shown that 80 to 90% of dogs have a dental disease by the age 3. 80 to 90% by the age 3 have a dental disease, which is crazy to me. So ways you can prevent that: brushing their teeth, obviously, even if it's just like once a week, like that's something. Obviously if you can do it every day, awesome. If you can do it once a week, awesome. Like try to brush your teeth if you can, get them used to that early on. And also my mom did this with our dog growing up, that use leftover toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, and instead of just throwing them out, recycling them, whatever, give them to your dog, let them chew on it. If they're swallowing the cardboard, obviously that's not good, but if they're like spitting it back out, like it's fine. And that like cleans their teeth. There's certain dog toys and treats that can help clean it. If your dogs just have like the little pointy ears, or like they're not big and floppy, their ears only need to be cleaned like once a month. But if your dog's like ours, I don't know if you probably can see, but like big and floppy, they should be cleaned like every 1 to 2 weeks, just because like it can cause infections, they can get diseases with all that stuff in there. And it's really good to do it after you bathe them too. So yeah, clip your dog's nails. You want them to be comfortable. You don't want them to like grow out so far that you can't even like cut them short anymore. There's like nail files, nail clippers. Vets do it too if you don't want to do it, but we taught our dogs earlier on. So, and it's not super hard. Like once they know, like they know, like this is what we're doing. I know it's not very enjoyable, but whatever. Okay, it's been a little bit. I'm making my dog's food bowls right now, actually, but I just remembered one more. So dogs, blankets, and toys should be watched every 1 to 2 weeks. So especially since their dog toys are always in their mouth and they're in their dog bedding, blankets, whatever, so often, like to keep them and you healthy. So I hope you learned something here today. I feel like a lot of these things I didn't learn until more recently, and I just thought it would be nice to have a video like this. Like I wish I would have watched a video like this before I got my dogs, because there's so much stuff. Like you think you're prepared, but like, are you really? And if there's anything that you think I missed in this video, totally comment down like tips and tricks you've learned, whatever it is. Like all us dog owners gotta be in it together and help each other out. Okay, bye guys.